Welcome to the Distilled Building Technology Podcast,
where smart buildings are shaken, stirred, and data-driven.
I'm your host, Jason Shear.
I'm your host, AK.
And today we have Gio from Molex. Welcome, Gio. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you, AK, for hosting me. It's a pleasure. I'm excited to be here.
And as with every episode, like we give our guests kind of like dealer's choice or bartender's choice for what drink we're going to have. And it wasn't necessarily a surprise to me, like knowing Gio, knowing his background and culture, that his drink or aperitif of choice is Grappa.
Yes.
So tell us, for those that have never heard of Grappa, haven't been around like Italian culture, tell us a little bit about the drink, Gio.
Yeah. So Grappa, just let me start from the name. It's originated from the Latin words of grappolum, that means grape cluster. So as you can imagine, it is distilled from pomerade, from leftover from making wine. And it is a drink that the first recipe is dated around Middle Age, 1400 AD, and was a Piscean drink because it was made from leftover, mainly for digestive. In the last, I would say, 150 years, it evolved into a sophisticated spirit, Italian spirit. Very typical, very classical. Typical, you get that after dinner with maybe cake or gelato, chocolate ice cream, or with cheese, aged cheese. So today, particularly, I brought a little selection, and most of the bottle are empty because these are old samples, and I have this since a while, and once in a while I go after dinner sip a little bit. So this particular one is a single type, so means a single type of grape per type, and I have different type here. I have Amarone, it's a type of grapes, Chardonnay, Brunello di Montalcino, and so the grappa is made with the leftover distilled, and this particular batch is been aged in oak barrel, the same oak barrel that has been used to age wine before, for typically 12 to 18 months. That's what I have today, and
Excellent.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm the one that did not know what Grappa was, and I apologize for that. When I went to the store, I ended up finding Grappa. It was not hard. It was just I've never come across it, but the one I have is nice, I guess. Yeah,
awesome.
I did find that you need a special glass to drink it. I brought the equivalent of that.
Actually, I'm using something like this, a small little sip typically, and so I brought a typical glass I use. But
thanks for the warning. I would have probably poured.
No, but your glass is great because it gives time to really smell it and to have the organoleptic characteristics that are great, in my opinion, because I love wines, and so that's a good,
Jason, what about you?
So I tried to find Grappa here locally in Jackson, Mississippi, and had no luck. But I did find two substitutes in my liquor cabinet. One is another Italian liqueur, not made from grapes, but made from cherries, Luxardo Maraschino liqueur. But I bought this bottle of port, which is it's another distilled, a distilled grape liqueur or aperitif. So it's a 20-year port that was bottled in 2015. So it's a 30-year port. So that's the closest that I have to Grappa. But having traveled and worked with Italians before, you probably know Francisco on the Cisco team. Anytime you go to dinner with Francisco at an Italian restaurant, like that's what you're having as a after dinner drink for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. What so Gio, so are there specific, grapes that that make grappa, or is there any restriction on white grapes, red grapes? It can
Yeah,
be made
there
with
no
any types of grapes.
any type of grape,
Yeah.
and to be simple, great wine like
Hmm.
Barolo, Brunello di
Yep.
Montalcino, Amarone. These are red.
Yeah.
They have the Grappa version, the Grappa
Hmm.
derivative. White wine also has
Hmm.
Grappa as well, so Chardonnay and other.
Yeah.
I like personally single type because I
Hmm.
like the uh, flavor of that type of grape
Yeah.
and in aging in barrel. So this particular one, I have this Chardonnay is aged 18 months into the
Hmm.
barrel. You get this taste of vanilla and woody
Hmm.
kind of taste. Yeah, I like it a
So
lot. So
it's
there is no
somewhat similar to like the wine side. Like you do have like some blends, and then you have like
correct,
single grape, and then even on other spirits, right? Like you might have, especially like Scotch, for example, like single malt, single barrel type of distills, to where like all you taste is kind of like the purity from that one grain or that one grape.
correct. But
Yeah.
you can do grappa
Hmm.
from mixed,
Yep.
and
Yep.
so it can be. There are great wine that are mixed
Hmm.
grapes, and you can get excellent grappa from that too. So people are experimenting a lot. It's becoming
Hmm.
a really active market and spirit as
Hmm.
typical Italian. This distillation is done in small batches, typically
Hmm.
in copper, and then
Hmm.
gradually, when it's mature, you put into the barrel if you want to have aged. Uh, the one that you have that is purely distilled and not aged is typically transparent white, the
Yeah.
transparent clear. Um,
Probably like
it
what
is
AK has,
for
like
dry.
Yeah,
It
this
is
is
crystal
fine.
perfect.
crystal
Yeah,
clear.
the
Yeah.
one that you have, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Um,
you see that in a lot of other spirits too, like tequila, right? Like Blanco tequila is generally
yeah,
not aged,
exactly.
but then like
Exactly.
añejo and
Very simple.
reposado like is darker because it's been aged in barrels.
Yep.
Correct.
Yeah.
And it's served, Gio. It's served neat, just the same way you're drinking it, right? No ice, just straight like a port
Straight.
would be served.
Personally, I like no ice straight.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you travel in northern Italy and you go in Trentino, for example, in the mountain, these are typical drink that you drink. Is called is up in the mountain, but there are also derivation that has maybe uh, aromatized
Mm-hmm.
with berries, for example, or and so you may have some that has flavor with
Mm-hmm.
natural fruits for people that like. I
Mm-hmm.
personally like pure and no ice,
Mm-hmm.
just room temperature after dinner is
Yep.
great. And yeah, I hope, uh, Jason, I will bring you a little sample.
Yep. We'll
Like it.
definitely have to grappa next time we're together. And then I guess my last question on grappa is it is uniquely Italian, right? So like in order for it to be grappa, like it must be produced in Italy.
Yes,
Yeah.
as a
Yeah.
DOP brand, like it is
Yep.
And is
denomination
that the
of
name, or
control.
is there other versions of grappa that's produced elsewhere in the world?
I guess if you distill leftover of grapes, yes,
Yeah.
you
Yep.
can make your own grappa. Yes, so I
I
don't
see.
know, nothing that is really popular or that I'm aware that is
Hmm.
another product branded that is competing, coming with the same kind of. Uh, so it seems to remain pretty much in the Italian kind of tradition.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Got it.
Excellent.
Cool. So, Gio, tell us a little bit more about who's Gio. What's your career arc? How did you get
Yeah,
into
yeah,
where you are and what are you doing?
yeah. Okay. In my so as you can hear from my accent and my
Hmm.
selection, I'm
Yeah.
Italian. I moved in the US in 2008. At the time, I was working for a semiconductor company, global company in
Mm-hmm.
semiconductor, uh, following the industrial perimeter, a large variety of product. And I came to develop or really lead the industrial business unit in North America market. And so is Gio. I'm born in southeast of Italy, in a
Mm-hmm.
little town up on the mountain, not far from Naples and the Amalfi Coast.
Hmm.
Um,
Not a
then
bad place.
no, no,
Yeah.
it's a great place. I miss it. I moved up in Rome when I was very young. My parents moved in Rome. And I graduated in physics in Rome from La Sapienza University. I've been very blessed. I studied with really top notch scientists at the time. One
Mm-hmm.
was Giorgio Parisi, that 3 years ago he won the Nobel Prize for physics. He was my professor. Uh, and I study neural network, mathematical model,
Mm-hmm.
statistical model to resolve neural network problem. After that, I was hoping to really go straight to work.
Mm-hmm.
While in Italy, there was a change into the military service that was mandatory till the time and was becoming by will. Uh, I thought I was going to miss that when they called me for military service in Sardinia. So I went
Mm-hmm.
there and then I started working semiconductor right away. I moved in Milan, and from Milan I moved to Chicago, where I am now. That's kind of geographical location
Yeah.
for myself. I'm right now at Molex. I lead the smart building business unit, and we started to develop a solution around 2015,
Mm-hmm.
16, embracing an idea that um, digital convergence into the smart building was becoming not just a value to have,
Mm-hmm.
but a must to follow, in the sense that uh, moving to connected building when you have things that talk to each other. Uh, and so was a good field for Molex that has
Mm-hmm.
experience in various aspects and various field of the technology to put a solution together. And at the time, we partnered with Cisco strongly with the initiative was called Digital Ceiling. I don't know if
Digital
you
ceiling.
remember that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
Oh
was
yeah.
really long ago. And since then, I continue to develop a platform, a solution that has physical layer and has also software to do smart building applications.
Yeah. And for folks, I'm sure a lot of people in the industry like know Molex. Like Molex is definitely a like a household name in technology, primarily around like, connectors, cables, assemblies. But what you do with with the core sync platform at Molex is pretty different than the rest of the company. Would you say so?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
Molex, if you guys look around any electronic around
Hmm.
you, and you open it, you will find Molex connector inside.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. Yep.
Molex interconnectivity solution goes from data center to industrial, automotive, consumer, phone, any type of, uh, and that remained the core business of the company.
Hmm.
But there was a moment where Molex started to experiment and going on solution. So there was a
Hmm.
big wave of solution development internally. I end up to be part of this initiative for smart building, where we started from scratch to put some ideas together, building a solution, and gradually we became a player that has hopefully um, pioneeristically driving the market
Hmm.
into adoption
Absolutely.
of digital technology.
Yeah, and obviously the audience know that I lead one of the companies like MHT, and to the outside world, people think that CoreSync and MHT competes. We don't. Gio and I are family, right? So it is. We're trying to push the smart building initiative, which is obviously what's been the motivation for every end user, and a lot of it has been how does this technology, in your opinion, Gio, brings what the customer is asking for, right? We obviously all of us collectively go after consumers that are looking for that technology, but in your opinion, what's the driver motivation for them? Why are they
Yeah.
asking for this?
Thank you for the question, AK. And I think in the moment we are living in today, uh, data driven and digital transformation are the cornerstone to build really efficient and really productive business.
Hmm.
So when we started, I remember we were knocking the door of
Yeah.
many, right? And say, yeah, you should put smartness in your building. You should put a connected technology. And often the answer was yes. Do you have LED lighting solution, and can we save energy from LED lighting? Yeah. So I think we did kind of couple of turnaround, uh, and today in the industry, I want to read it in this way: companies that are already embracing digital transformation as a
Hmm.
core part of their business future decided to make the corporate real estate as a part as asset to leverage in that digital transformation. So of course automation, efficiency, energy saving, these are still valid uh,
Hmm.
driving point. And in the recent 5 years, I would say um, regulation, initiative on sustainability are pushing the boundary, and things that were possible before now become possible only if you have a connected platform that is going to cut down really energy. But the energy saving is not the only proposition. And in my
Hmm.
opinion, the value added proposition start to reside on this more abstract layer, uh, where you want to have a system that is performing optimal, that is saving energy, is not wasting resources, uh, but be able to uh, get data out of the behavior for the workforce in particular, but other segment as similar, and anticipated optimization and challenge for the business is very important. So this data insight, I would call it, it become very important. Right now, I see there are four major drive behind that technology like ours will help the industry to move forward. One is definitively energy saving and CO2 carbon neutrality. The second is how to optimize and minimize cost for operation and maintenance. So intelligent system able to have prescriptive and predictive maintenance are critical, are important, are a must to have. The third one is about the comfort and the well-being of um, talents and humans. I was surprised by this data. We spend more than 90% of our life as human inside in a building.
And I know. Yep.
Believing or not, in some area maybe less, in some area a little bit more, but in average 90%. So buildings remain crucial, and acknowledging the quality of comfort, well-being for resource. uh, Before was a very soft say, like, yeah, if you can boost productivity, right? Or
Hmm.
how you quantify productivity, big challenge. Now there is more and more an absorbent notion that when you are good, when you feel good, when you like the environment, when you not only save time to find rooms and things like that, but when your hair is clean, when your temperature is optimal, you have a better life, and you are a better employee. You contribute more. There is more productivity. So these are the kind of drive behind. And I think what happened in the last 5 years was turning around, and all the promise around IoT and the value created by this insight now can become a fruit. Before was always understood, difficult to extract. Now we have example of companies that are now rolling out, and with the uh, maturity of AI at the level that we have today for our industry. So, for example, machine learning, and I'm not just talking about chatbox or uh, big language process technology, but machine learning has been optimized for year for two major project problem. One is classification, the other is optimization,
Yeah.
and the smart building industry will benefit from that. So it's a really a ripe market to adopt now with this layer of data analysis, insight and data uh, data insight that can help company to make decision to optimize to improve their business overall.
Yeah, that was one when you mentioned that that your master's degree is in theoretical physics and neural networks. Like that, I wrote that down. I didn't know that about you, Gio. So I have to imagine that like this current cycle that we're in around excitement with AI is great from your background. Like you're like, okay, it's finally here.
So yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. But like, how do you see? And I'm a big believer, like you are. Like LLMs are great. Like they're going to help us increase like knowledge worker productivity. But the real like the small models that are specific to outcomes and use cases, how do you see that evolving over the next couple of years, like using LLMs as a kind of a springboard for building optimization?
Uh, in many ways, I would say there
Mm-hmm.
are multiple improvement point, and so I think we need to consider AI for what it is. And the state of today is, it's funny you are mentioned. Yes, I was in University La Sapienza of Rome. There
Mm-hmm.
was a center of knowledge for neural network together with Berkeley University in another couple of centers
Yeah.
across the globe. At the time, uh, the calculator, the PC, the power processing, even the largest PC we had in the basement of the
Mm-hmm.
physics department was not sufficient to resolve this large
Yeah.
model.
Yeah.
It was all about theoretical and mechanical statistic analysis. So I
Mm-hmm.
kind of graduated around those models, as I say, with
Mm-hmm.
Parisi, that was my
Yeah.
professor, pioneeristically. And then I went into the industry, do semiconductor, material, application, others.
Yeah.
and I wake up in 2020, kind of, where we
Yep.
start to see like now a machine talking to you, understanding your language, putting together a sentence, correcting your emails. Now
Mm-hmm.
everybody is experiencing that level of.
Yeah.
So it seems to be a drastic, like it happened in a day, but no, it took 40 years
Yeah.
to really get there.
And Gio,
Um,
how do you see it apply to the building side?
so to
How?
apply to
Yeah.
the building, I think there are, when we talk about AI, the
Mm-hmm.
scenario of AI is variegated. So LLM models are great to do a job of interface with humans. So that use really simplify, if you want, the ability to interact with a robot, with a
Mm-hmm.
system, with a machine. Our system ultimately, coursing when you deploy, you commissioning, and is orchestrating real-time control and all the stuff. Is a machine, is a robot
Mm-hmm.
working on a specific application. Uh, to interrogate the robot, to interact with the robot in a simple way, we resolve a big problem that the industry, in my opinion, will start to see.
Mm-hmm.
Facility managers and that type of corporate real estate leader are really seeing a big challenge. And the
Yeah.
challenge is workforce is aging, people are retiring, they need to have new talent acquired, but the talent skill set is changing and is different. And now, if you
Mm-hmm.
need to have deep knowledge and ability to deep dive into system, because when you have a connected device, things talk over the network, need to have an environment that need so it's not like the oversimplification is yes, LED lighting, you can save energy just replacing fluorescent. For
Hmm.
connected device, you need an infrastructure. And
Hmm.
so
100%.
team that manage that, they will be under severe pressure to, and instead of need to learn individual system, the ability
Hmm.
to have an interface that simplify, interrogate, and create a query for you to what is going on, that's a large amount of simplification, saving operational cost.
Hmm.
The other aspect, in my opinion, are more embedded into the product. So you can have AI at the edge, AI
Hmm.
at devices, because ultimately we are human. The machine and the model we build, they don't understand what AI need to optimize. So you
Yeah.
need to create model, and if you build product that are very use case driven, and that's I think our strength, and I can share the same,
Hmm.
understanding what the use cases are driving. Now the technology can help to really have abstracted layer, and
Hmm.
I can have a sensor today that is a motion sensor. It sense motion. I translate that into an occupancy sensor, occupied and occupied. Now,
Yep.
how we behave in the dynamic of detection with machine learning model at that edge, I can start to abstract layer and create behavior
Hmm.
indicator that can really help uh, to optimize.
Yeah.
We can make a parallel between the autonomous vehicle, um, the European Automotive Agency built a sort of a five stages classification of a vehicle from really manual, not even,
Hmm.
uh, to completely autonomous. And we know that in
Hmm.
this area there is tons of um, innovation and development and about autonomous vehicle. Do I believe the industry will go through an autonomous building with supervision? You
Hmm.
still need humans to really interpret things and do stuff. But I think a similar parallel, we can go from a bare bone building that has
Hmm.
electrical wiring and you need to do everything manually to an automation, to a more really full adaptable building that will
Hmm.
adapt to the condition of the people and behavior and interact with humans. So
Yeah.
I think that's where we are heading to.
Yeah. The one thing I keyed on there, Gio, was when you're talking about these personas like facilities managers, systems are not getting simpler, right? Like systems are getting more complex. We're putting more systems into our buildings. These systems are being digitized, and in FM, they are not data scientists, right? Like they do not know necessarily how to. They may be an expert in one system like HVAC, but maybe they are not an expert in air quality or lighting or shades or other systems within the building. And LLMs can help abstract and simplify that for the operator. I think that that's going to be a massive advantage.
Massive.
Yeah, and I think there is going to be a time where we're seeing even curriculum changes at the college, at the high school
Hmm.
level, for a generation that graduates with a specific facility manager degree that is quite different than what we saw in the past, call it 100 plus years, right? And now your new facility manager might be a smart building facility manager graduate than your typical just facility manager that we all recognize that has its own skill set because the building already changed.
Yeah, that's interesting. Like I think a lot of people get nervous around AI and job replacement and all of that. But AK, like you hit it off. Like, what is that new job title for an AI driven facility manager? Like that may be like a new job that we see come out of all of this.
Yeah, I think you two both point to a very important observation. Indeed, okay, you can share, and Jason, you as well, dealing with customer, right?
Mm.
How many interface we have? We have facility, then we have energy manager, then you start to have stakeholder, not just IT leader,
Hmm.
but HR. People that want to know, yes, now that I don't need to know anything about the system, I work, I don't want to know anything, but can I
Mm-hmm.
extract the information that I need? And so that is helping us to develop an overall 360 approach
Mm-hmm.
where the value proposition reside in multiple topic, in multiple bucket. Uh, it's I think the AI we will learn that it is a tool. It is not a replacement for human. Now,
Mm-hmm.
where you can add value is by uh, the meaning and the extraction you can make. So if something can be done by a machine, why you don't want to be done by a machine? Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and that is an aspect, but it is, in my opinion, not by any mean close to replace this job function. At the end,
Mm-hmm.
there are critical function on facility, like you have um, customer for which you
Mm-hmm.
are responsible for. And um, uh, yes, the system, intelligent system, including
Mm-hmm.
AI embedded and machine learning, can give tons of improvement, including predictive maintenance, preventive
Mm-hmm.
maintenance, things that can save company big
Mm-hmm.
money.
Well, and
But
even like life safety. Like I think about life safety and like can we use systems and AI, ML models to be able to for humans to make decisions faster to save lives. Like one great example I've heard of Geo is in the sensor space, like being able to do fall detection
mhm,
and detecting that fall and dispatching someone from health and safety or whatever that team is like much quicker like that those minutes could have a significant impact on that person's life. Yeah,
100%. Yeah, I agree.
very cool.
Exciting.
So
It's an
yeah.
exciting moment. I think the technology is, and this is an industry that doesn't have R&D typically. Not
Hmm.
our industry. We do technology
Hmm.
provider and developer, yes, but building industry, they take a shot and put the technology in and learn from
Hmm.
that.
Yeah.
So there is also that part. As a technology provider, it is in our kind of court to really gather what
Yes.
business driven use case value and really develop and use technology for that
Hmm.
perspective. Ultimately, I think our um, really effort and challenge and success reside into uh, digest the complexity that is behind phenomenal situation and physics and whatever you need to detect or automation you
Hmm.
need to put, and deliver a simple to use or uh, that is giving really digesting the complexity within the solution, I would
Hmm.
say.
Yeah.
um,
And you talk a little bit about like the kind of like the establishment, building systems, and then more of like a technology led approach. I think we can't have any of these conversations without talking about like ITOT convergence and how disruptive and challenging that is. Like, do you have a customer example of where you know that challenge of IT kind of like pushing the envelope a little bit, like really won the customers, like the mind share of the customer from an outcome standpoint.
I would say many
Yeah.
examples,
Hmm.
and in the spectrum, I have seen company with ITOT completely separated,
Hmm.
and I started to see company that has now hybrid function.
Hmm.
Obviously, yeah, these are connected technology, and when it
Hmm.
is connected technology, we are talking about a network, and when we are talking about a network, that network is an infrastructure that support the building as an essential. Uh,
Hmm.
Company that have embraced that convergence,
Hmm.
uh, I would say typically have a much successful outcome for their project
Yep.
and also make our life easier.
Hmm. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. And we talk a lot about like in those opportunities, sometimes we're the ones, like as manufacturers, like we're the ones that are bringing, the real estate or the facilities or this, the space planning teams and IT together, like at the same table. And I'd say maybe 8 or 9 times out of 10, like those teams, they might know of the guy that runs corporate real estate, but they don't really have a relationship with him.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do we see that shift going from your perspective, Gio? Like you shared a few customers' success stories, right? If they move if they converge and have an ITOT become successful, what does that look like to an end user? Like why should I take all my OT end product? You mentioned that it's connected, but what else can I do? Like I could just have a smart building with smart connected devices today. What are we doing different to give them that connectivity?
Yeah, yeah. Between you, Molex, MHT are pioneering since a while on the PoE backbone infrastructure. So wherever it is a network and wherever we have the ability to use the network also to deliver power, that's a fantastic. So our key differentiation, I think, reside on the fact that we have a backbone, ITOT network infrastructure that is optimized to deliver power and data. That's essentially the core. So we came out with a platform that has that core element
Mm-hmm.
that forced since the beginning the engagement with both sides of the house at the customer level, ITOT. There is that element there. Now, still, the preference customer today, when they don't match, they don't merge
Mm-hmm.
business IT with the network business OT at the building level. Even those are very similar networks ultimately, but they
Mm-hmm.
have different scope, different criticity, etc., etc. And so people now start to tend to design properly. So IT understand very well how to design a network. When it is applied to a smart building, that's not a big deal. It's very simple.
Mm-hmm.
So IT are really ready to support that part. They don't want to be bothered by the application. Like,
Well,
yes. So this creating this.
the application and the IT is generally already stretched very, very thin. So having like additional like resources like invested so that they can support those additional workloads.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
bandwidth resource, so they
Mm-hmm.
can. And so typically what I have seen is most mature or successful design today as a parallel IT infrastructure network design for operational technology,
Mm-hmm.
supported by typically by the IT
Yep.
stuff, but then manage in terms of application and use cases and all
Mm-hmm.
the system that run on it by facility people.
Yep.
And that is
Like,
where the gap kind of is still going to.
yeah.
Yeah,
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 I think we've all seen that in wiring closets, right? Where you'll
yeah.
have the IT stack of network switches and the OT stack of network switches, and then somewhere like they converge at like an aggregation layer, but there's a physical separation today.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we see it more of a. I think it's ownership, responsibility, and also risk management. We think that in the very near term, it's going to become one rack, and you just segment it through the network, and that's what we hope that the intelligent building and the smart building looks like in the future, because you don't need to have two separations of both.
It'll get there. Same, I mean, like we people get tired of hearing about the example of telephony, right? Once upon a time, telephony was managed by the facilities team, and they had their own separate closets. And now, like the voice network and the data network, they're on shared infrastructure. Same thing with video, and I think some of those other OT technologies eventually will get to that same point. Excellent. Well, Gio, how do people find out more about Molex and about CoreSync if they're interested in learning more, like maybe going down like this path of of PoE and IP enabled lighting and sensor technology?
So they can start from Molex website. We have a
Hmm.
website that is molexcs.com.
Yeah,
CS stands for Connected Enterprise Solution, and there you find coursing platform as
got it.
the offering with all the um, get in contact with the Molex sales rep. Definitively,
Mm,
we are uh, a team. Very agile and very engaged to be in contact with customer and talking and understanding what they are trying to do. Our go to market is typical through
mm,
value added reseller and
yep.
system integrators. So even through our system integrator channel, or if you are
Mm,
interested to become a system integrator certified for Molex,
mm,
we will be happy to engage in many. And that would be the best route.
yeah.
Um, if it is just for consultation or getting information about product and technology or learning more,
Mm,
getting in contact with us.
mm,
And I am on LinkedIn. I am so people can reach out to me. I'm very happy to engage
yeah.
in meaningful conversation on smart building, digital building initiatives.
Excellent.
Awesome. Well, Gio, it's been a pleasure. Really appreciate the time, and as usual, like, subscribe, reach out to us for uh, anything we need. But it was a pleasure to have you. Definitely, it's a lot of information. I did
Hmm.
not know the neural network part about you either.
No, yeah.
This came
That's
out of
a.
left field.
I was telling
There
AK
is
in the
other
background,
secret.
like,
There are
yeah,
other
this
secret.
conversation is not what I expected, but it like exceeded what I expected. Just thinking about how we integrate, AI and neural networks like into smart buildings. So it's an awesome
So
surprise, Gio.
appreciated. And yes, thank you for having me.